secret? Well, become known in your coaching niche, it's not impossible. But if you're uncomfortable putting yourself out there, and I know many of you are, well, sometimes that can prove to be a challenge when you're looking to increase your visibility. So in this video, I'm going to share the tips of how visibility boosts your authority and your credibility and how you can use it too. My name's Joyce Lehman, and I help coaches and consultants to attract and connect with their ideal clients online using simple social systems so they can stand out online, sell more services, and make a bigger impact without getting overwhelmed in the process. If you've sat through my lives before, you know that I move pretty quickly. So if you want the show notes and a link to the full video and even a quick video recap, then drop the word authority in the chat. Hello, all I see is Facebook user because you have to give Restream your permissions, but I'm happy to see that you're there. So if you want the show notes, then drop the word authority below. Okay, so with that, wouldn't it just be amazing if you were the go-to expert in your space and people were just connecting your ideal client, not just anybody and everybody, but your ideal client was connecting you? And I won't say throwing credit cards at your face. Wouldn't that be nice? But they're following you, they're staying engaged on your content. And when you make offers, they're like, yes, I want to learn more. Well, that's the difference between being visible, being credible, and having authority in your space versus just posting content, hoping something sticks and wondering why you're not really getting the engagement that you want and you're not really selling the services that you want. So we're going to start with first, the number one thing that you need to be paying attention to before you begin to market your business. And I can't tell you how many times I see this. In fact, I did a recent Facebook, it was an 8-second, actually it was an Instagram reel that I did over on Facebook too, but it was talking about one of the fastest ways to lose anybody, it's broken links. So I've said these statistics before. These aren't my statistics, but when somebody comes into either a social profile and a website, they make a split-second decision on your credibility. If somebody decides to become engaged, get more content, they want to learn more, and they go to click a link, whether it's in your Instagram bio, maybe it's over in your Facebook, in your about section, or it could even be under the post, or maybe they go into your website and there's a broken link, the odds you're going to keep somebody engaged drop dramatically to slim to none. We literally have an attention span. In fact, one of the latest marketing videos, I thought it was fantastic. They talk about 8 seconds. Literally, like when you're doing video, you need to move every 8 seconds. That's why I'm starting to put out 8-second reels, because typically 8 and 16, it's the fastest length of time you've got somebody's attention. So with that, think about, as you're planning your visibility strategy, that go do a quick Google search on your name. See what profiles show up first, because I have a number of clients that I've worked with. In fact, I used to do networking in person over the years. And the first thing that somebody's typically going to do is they're going to go Google you. So if you've met somebody at a networking event, or say you've connected online and you're on Facebook, they're probably going to go into your personal Facebook page. Here's another visibility tip. If you're using Facebook or Instagram for business in any way, shape, or form, make your profile public. For goodness sake, don't hide it. I can't tell you how many times people ask to join my Facebook groups, or they reach out to connect with me as a friend, and I go do a search on them on the very same platform, and I can't find out anything about them. So that's why having this consistent brand, this consistent message across all social platforms. So part of it is, it will increase in your visibility. It will help you become a sought after expert. So with that, it is hugely beneficial, like I said, along with just promoting content or pushing content that's out there. So that's why I said the first thing is do that very quick brand audit. Go in and clean up any of your bios. We're now in a new year. So that's why you want to look and see, has anything changed? I just updated Visibility Coach on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. I'm adding that in because to me that made more sense. And this is where you got to revisit what's your brand statement, your value statement, and are there keywords? And visibility seems to be the thing because I have experience keynote speaking, written books, done podcasting, all the social stuff. So that's why sometimes it's minor updates when you do your brand audit. I'm also going through my website page by page, link by link to make sure everything works. For any of lead magnets, freebies that I have, you got to make sure all the links work. All right. So make sure, as I said, that step number one is get your brand cleaned up. So you've got a split second. Now, number two, the difference between content and visibility. This is a big one that a lot of times you don't think about. Content is when you are sharing content with your existing followers. So say, for example, on your personal page, you're going to get a little bit more reach on your personal page than you will on a business page, although we're starting to see a few changes of you don't necessarily have to pay to play. In the past, it was like 1% to 2% of your Facebook business page followers would see your content, but they know that they're doing some things, we're watching the algorithm change. So we're getting more engagement without doing anything else. We're also noticing that Reels are upticking. So you're seeing more on Facebook Reels. Instagram Reels views have dropped. So keep in mind static posts. There's a big difference when you're pushing content. These are typically static posts. Those are going out to your followers. When you get into short form content, so you're using any form of video, whether it's short form, it's a live like this, posting out on YouTube. The cool thing about YouTube is it becomes an evergreen platform. The content doesn't just go away. When you're on other social media platforms, the life of a post or a pin or a reel, it's pretty short. Typically it's days because there's so much that's going on in the feed. But when you're posting static content, that's only going to your followers. How you become visible is you're posting the kind of content. One way to do it is you're posting kind of content that is going to reach people who are not currently following you. And that's where there's such a rush between all the social media platforms, short form content, everything I've read about 2023, it is the big way to go. So that's where you can do that. This is a great visibility hack that a lot of people have not heard about yet. It's the Instagram Collaborate feature. And I wish there was an easy way to show it. What I have done on my cell is you just pull up your Instagram app. You're going to create a typical post. Then what's happen is you're going to tag your collaborator in that post. And they're going to say, do you want to collaborate? Then you click check. And what happens is your one piece of content has now gone to both of your Instagram profiles. So the difference is when you post content just on your Instagram page, it's content. When you collaborate, then that increases your visibility because it's now going to multiple platforms. This is a great thing to do when it is a win-win, right? So if you've got somebody, whether they are, somebody that is a great resource, a referral partner, somebody you share the same type of clients, you offer slightly different but complementary services, that's a great thing that you can do to collaborate. When I was at a mastermind last fall, one of the things that we did is we shot 15-second video, and there were 3 of us doing it. We all 3 used that content, and then we made sure that the message made sense. So that is one simple way that you can boost your visibility through collaboration. Okay, another thing that you can do is being a podcast guest or being interviewed on somebody else's Facebook Live. So it goes to that borrowing other people's audiences where you're getting out in front of audiences that aren't your own. Anytime somebody's promoting you on social, they're introducing you as a speaker or a guest, then that increases your visibility, but it also increases your credibility and authority for the fact that they would be welcoming you to be a guest expert on their show. Now, another great way that you can increase your visibility and get off of your own platform is through participating in summits and bundles. Summits are online speaking engagements. You can also do in-person speaking engagements. Now, for those of you who get extremely nervous in front of your audience and you're like, I would physically shake if you put a microphone in my hand. I used to do that, by the way. The cool thing is a lot of these micro summits that are happening online is you pre-record. So that way, the last one I did, I just went into Restream and I set up a stream. I had my notes because it was about 30 minutes and they asked for a timeline. It's the Relationship Revival Summit. It's happening in January. Pretty excited about it. But the thing is, I pre-recorded it and sent it. So if the thought of, oh my God, I can't be interviewed or I can't, you just are too nervous to get out there, I will tell you, practice. Practice always helps when you do this. I used to be terrified to speak in front of audiences, and now I absolutely love it. So you can too. But as I said, when you're borrowing other people's audiences, then it increases your visibility. The other cool thing before, like I'm promoting the Relationship Revival Summit on my social media, which is also helping her. So that's where when you think about these win-win, borrowing people audiences is a great way to do it. Speaking locally, speaking nationally. I used to do national keynotes and training for companies all across the United States before the pandemic. But anytime somebody's introducing you or somebody sharing your content, it's increasing your visibility. So that's something else. Even in your static content that you're creating, if you create the type of content, you've really got a well thought out strategy that somebody's willing to mention you in their story or they're willing to share. And sometimes it's as simple as, hey, be sure to share this post or share this email. That also increases your visibility. So that's why when you think about content, typically goes to your audience, your current followers, who's there. You get around it by people sharing content or putting yourself out there on a bigger stage. Yes, there is a little bit of prep work that needs to go into it for any of the summits, any of the bundles. Bundles are a great way. I've had some tremendous success with my Drive planning system and offering it as part of a bundle. Imagine like $4,300 worth of product that you could actually get for $97. So they had over 50 collaborators that went together in this bundle to offer their products, and the value, if you were to buy them separately, was $4,300, but yet you could get it for $97. So how it increased visibility is that everybody was sharing out to all of their email lists. So instead of just my email list, now this is going out everywhere. And if you're saying, Joyce, hold on, somebody's going to be promoting my stuff to their group. Well, what happens if somebody comes in and starts taking people on my social or whatever it is? Part of it is getting into the right mindset of when you're collaborating with people. It's always that Bob Burg philosophy, the go-giver philosophy. Be willing to add value first, be willing to put yourself out there first, and know that great things are going to happen in return. That's the cool thing about it. But it's always that willing to give first without any expectation in return. All right. So in case you're saying, oh, dear God, please don't let me be out on social media all the time. How can you be visible without being on social? Well, there's lots of different ways to do that. So first thing, network. As I mentioned, referral partners, resource partners, go to your local networking events. When you network, then, and you can do it online too, it's a great way to do it without being on social media. So try that. You can join relevant organizations to your industry. In Kansas City, it depends on where you're at. If you live in a smaller community, know that online opportunities are huge. This is where, example, niche specific Facebook groups could be a huge win for you. And that requires going out, doing a search, seeing who's out there, but then showing up and participating. That's one of the things. And also be aware too, like we've noticed group engagement, and it's not just my group. I've got almost 1,000 members in the Connectors Collective. But everybody is reporting that group engagement is going down. For a while, groups were the place to be because one post would get out to a ton of people. And now it's kind of this hit or miss thing. If you've started to build a group, in fact, Sharon Friedman, who is a yoga for osteoporosis instructor, her Facebook group is now over 900 people, and she's not doing a lot, but she's so niched, yoga for osteoporosis. That's how she's getting more visible. So people are saying, yes, I want to join their group. They're finding it via search. So part of it is, yes, you can go join groups. Like I said, show up, add value, be there. Don't just go in thinking that you're trying to sell somebody. Bad idea. In fact, that's how people get kicked out of my group the fastest. But you do have to show up. It's huge to show up. All right. Then the other thing is leverage guest blogging opportunities. That is another way to get your face out there without being on social media. blogs are huge. If you hate writing, by the way, my favorite AI tool, I'm going to pop it up here, is Jasper. I've written 2 books. Writing is not my jam. AI is here. It's here to stay. I absolutely love Jasper. In fact, I did a video and it was writing blog posts literally in 3 minutes. Now you got to think about what the content is and the strategy behind it. But once you fill out just a little bit of information, Jasper goes to work. It takes a few more minutes to clean it up and put it in your voice. But those blogs being on my site do several things. First off, in fact, I just got another email today from another tech platform because they've seen my social media presence and they're like, oh my God, it's HoneyBook. We'd love to have you. I had one stream live reach out to me. All for the fact of I'm writing more blog content. I'm being more strategic with my social media. So now they want me to become an affiliate because they know I've got an audience and it's the right market to be able to share and help. And of course, I always like to share the platforms that I'm personally using, so I have that experience. So with that, think about, as I said, guest blogging is huge. SEO, you should be blogging. If you're an expert, then you should be blogging and adding content to your site. Or maybe you're just on LinkedIn, add the blogs over into LinkedIn. By the way, blogs can be easily repurposed into short form video content, social media posts. It goes into your emails. There's lots of ways to do this. And if it is valuable and people love it and you ask them to share, then it can increase their visibility when they share it to your audience. Now, big thing, you have to be measuring the success of your visibility strategy. So you can post all day long, you can go live all day long, you could do reels all day long, but unless you're going back and saying, is this really working? What do I need to do? Is my messaging great? You know, just because here was a lesson learned, a coach that I worked with a couple of years ago, her whole philosophy with live launching is you had to have 300 people in a launch, and out of 300, you were going to get 6 to buy. And so we were completely stressed out thinking, oh my God, if I don't fill my launch with all these people, then it's not going to give me my conversion numbers. Guess what? If somebody makes a comment on a social media post, if somebody comments on a reel, on whatever that is, anytime somebody's commenting and engaging, these people could be any number of things. They could be a great resource and referral partner. They could be a new best friend. I met my 4 closest friends at business networking events. You never know when social media opens opportunities. The other thing that happens is somebody who's commenting or engaging on your things, they may potentially be a client too. So one of the ways, the easiest way to do it, go out when you post stuff. Don't wait 6 months and then go back into Instagram or over to your Facebook business page and go, oh, who commented? And if they did, reply back. 6 months is a little long. Even a week or more is a little long. One of your first ways to have metrics is you got to be able to see if somebody's commenting. Likes, it's a little easy. And yes, I understand we can get a little lazy and we'll go through and we'll like, but somebody who's actually commenting, one of the first things I do is I go look at their profile and I also give them some love right back. They showed you love, go give them love. But when you do that, first off, you're going to create connections. But secondly, that's how you can start to measure the effects of your visibility. Now, another thing too is go into the easiest way, just look and see who's liking and commenting. Say you put out a free workshop and you only get 5 people that show up and 20 people registered. Fantastic. Those are 20 people who raised their hand and said, I want to learn more. If they showed up, life gets in the way sometimes, but it gives you a reason to be able to reach back out. So don't think that somebody has to be on live. I know just because my numbers are lower right when I'm live doesn't mean that's how they're going to be, because I take these live streams and they're now over on YouTube as evergreen content. My channel's increased to over 1,000 subscribers because I know I'm starting to create content that people want to stay engaged with. So don't get discouraged when you're looking at your numbers and going, I just did a reel. My reels used to get thousands of views and now my reels are getting a couple of hundred. Guess what? Everybody's experiencing, but you got to pay attention. Another thing to do too, and I am taking a very quick drink of water, is then go in and look at your analytics. Go in and look. And so Facebook's going to be slightly different than Instagram, even though they're the same, they're owned by the same company. TikTok's a little different, but once you see what's working, repeat that, double down on it. You know that you're getting engagement, so maybe put just a different cover photo on it or something else, but use the same content, tweak it. You have to realize that when you make a post, a small percentage of your audience is even going to see it the first time. So if you get stuck in that content, you're like, you don't know what to create, go in and track your metrics and see the content that's working and then use it again. And if you keep posting content and you're not getting any likes or engagement, well, that's when you need to back up to the very first thing and looking at, do you have a clear value statement? Are you putting in clear calls to action on your content? Is your content share worthy? Is it connecting with your audience where they're at? If you're constantly trying to sell somebody versus considering people who are unaware, problem aware, they know they have a problem, but they're not looking for a solution, the solution aware. If you haven't considered all those stages that somebody might be in their buyer journey, you're constantly trying to sell, of course you're not going to get the engagement. So that's part of that process, but check and see. So for right now, don't create new content the next couple of days. Go in and look at your analytics from the last few days to see, or I should say the last few days, the last 90 days, to see what you've already posted that somebody may absolutely love, that you don't have to worry about that again. All right, so as promised, because I know that these videos, they can go 20 to 30 minutes, but doing a recap is one of the best ways, because I've had folks say, we love the recap. So here is how visibility can boost your credibility and authority and how you can achieve it too. So the very first thing is recognizing the importance of visibility in today's online world. You've got seconds to get somebody's attention. You've got about a second to get somebody's attention, and you've got only seconds to keep somebody's attention. But using visibility is a way that gets your brand, your message out to a much larger audience, and you can do it in any number of ways. But when you do that, you will increase your authority, you increase your credibility, and it can also get you more clients. So the very first thing that you need to do before you start to market your business is sit down and take some time to get extremely clear. Who's your target audience? So if you were to pick one person that you were going to be speaking to, who is that ideal client? Write down everything you can about them, including demographics, psychographics. That means thinking about the behaviors that they have. Sometimes that perfect person is you. Think about where they're at, where they want to be, and then what's that value statement? What do you help them accomplish? And how do you go about doing that? Then make sure you've got that consistent message on all your social media platforms. You've got it on your website, or maybe it's a simple landing page, but you have that information. So no matter how somebody finds you, that it is clear and consistent and you are very easy to connect to. So that's the biggest mistake that I see people make. In the longer version, you heard me talking about check your links, for goodness sake. That is one of the things. In fact, I saw a marketing expert. Her link was broken in her call to action. Oh my God, don't do that. Get a very clear message, update your bios. It's a great time to do that at the beginning of the year, and check your links. All right, the difference, number two, the difference between content and visibility. Content is when you're posting content to your existing audience. That's not visibility, it's content. Yes, you need to do it. Yes, you need to do it consistently, going back to who's your perfect person, what's the one thing that you're helping them solve, and how are you helping them do that? So your content should be focused around that. Also, as mentioned, consider the stages of awareness that the people who are in your social media ecosystem or even your email space are going to be in. They're unaware, they stumble across your content, they love what you're saying, and they start to get engaged. Problem aware, they know they have a problem, but they aren't looking for a solution yet, which means you can't pitch them, whether it be through the DMs, and please don't do sleazy, salesy DM pitches. I hate that. But it also isn't, don't try and sell in your content all the time. And then you've got your problem aware, solution aware, you aware, right? So you've gone through all those stages, but content means you're just pushing it out to the people who are currently there. Visibility means people are either sharing your content or you're getting out to audiences that you currently don't know. And what happens is then that's where you're going to get more people to, maybe it's join your email list, or it's to engage on your content. So how you can do that is a couple of different ways. With your doing it online, as I mentioned, visibility, collaborate on Instagram. It's such a cool feature. In fact, I should just do a really quick video demo on that. But the easiest way, go into your Instagram app. You're going to go ahead and put your post up. You're going to tag somebody, and then you can click collaborate. You're going to have to check and see and then collaborate. And then that way it gets shared to both of your Instagram profiles. It's a fabulous feature, and a lot of people don't take advantage of it. Another thing that you can do, like I said, short form content. I'm now focusing on the short form videos on whether it be Facebook. And by the way, Facebook Reels are actually performing better right now than Instagram Reels are. YouTube Shorts are trying to pick up. LinkedIn is working on their short form content. If you want to be on TikTok, fantastic. I know people that are. I don't use it as my primary channel, but anytime that you're using video, then the platforms are going to push it out to people that are beyond your existing network of followers. So think about that. The difference between content and visibility is how do you get yourself out there? Summits are fantastic, offering a micro offer in a bundle, like the Drive planning system. It's a $37 micro offer. That's something when I finally created it. In fact, it was part of my incubator program, but I pulled that out to be standalone. So now I have something that in a bundle, we're getting out to, one product is going out to multiple email lists, which increases visibility. So there are lots of ways that you can increase your visibility online. When it comes to offline, this is where joining in Facebook groups. So if you want to kind of be behind the scenes and not out there, you can get in, spend a little bit of time, and then go get those conversations, not salesy DM stuff, but get those conversations offline. Networking. So could be networking in person, networking online, guest podcasting, guest blogging, guest live interviews. There's so many ways to do it that you're not necessarily putting yourself out there like this. You can pre-record some of it. So in case you're a little hesitant to put yourself out there, then it's a great way to get you out in the online space and to your audience. And by the way, when anybody's introducing you, whether it be to their audience or to their list, then that expands your visibility in that way. All right. Then finally, you've got to measure the success of your visibility efforts. Because if you post all day long and you're not going back to see what's working, what needs to be tweaked, what do people love, what are you getting crickets on? So the first way to do it is literally go through your feed, go through your social media feeds. If you have a Facebook business page, don't wait 3 months or 6 months, put it on your calendar that you're going to go in every couple of days after you've made a post, and you want to make sure and reply to the comments. Because when you do that, first off, it creates connection, and that's what this is all about. But it's a great way to track and see what works. One of my favorite hacks is if you want to go into Instagram, go into your analytics in the back. You can do a search and see what your highest performing posts are. If you didn't just post it a week ago, post it again. That way it's easy to repurpose, but the platforms are going to tell you what's working and what's not and what your best content is. Metricool is one of my favorite tech platforms that literally connects with all of my social media platforms. So in one dashboard, I can click and see Pinterest. I can click and see YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, everything that's there. And it's going to tell me followers. It's going to track website views. It's one place where it gives me everything versus Google Analytics for my website. I'm all about simple. I love tech, but I want simple, and I want to see what's working, and I want to see what's not. So that's how metrics can help you. But if you don't measure it, you can't manage it. I didn't come up with that. That's a Peter Drucker quote, but it goes to metrics. You got to measure it to see, and then adjust your strategy as needed. All right. So here is the thing. I have, a brand new visibility playbook that I just created because it seems to be a hot topic. And so it gives you 5 essential steps to put yourself in front of your ideal audience with confidence. And in the back is actually a visibility planner. It's a very simple one sheet of those things that you can do to help increase your visibility online and offline. So if you like what we have, and by the way, it's free. So simply drop planner in the comments and I will send the visibility planner your way. So with that, it is absolutely essential as an online focused business owner to build trust with your potential clients. So that's where if you want more clients, you want to sell more products and services, then having that phenomenal content strategy, but increasing your visibility, which increases your credibility and your influence, will help you get there faster. The good news, it doesn't have to be time consuming. Simply pick one of the strategies that I shared in the video and start implementing it right away. If you do small steps, even if it's imperfect action, by the way, that's my word of the year, then that's going to help get you to where you want to go faster. So with that, I cannot wait to see what you create, and drop any comments below, and I promise I will get back to you. Otherwise, I will see you next time.